My parents favored my sister, so when they asked for money for her, I refused. I grew up knowing I wasn't the favorite child. My younger sister got ballet lessons, private tutoring, a brand new car at 17. I got a bus pass and lectures about responsibility. When she needed something, my parents dropped everything. When I broke my arm in 8th grade playing basketball, they told me to wrap it and see if it felt better in the morning. Turned out it was fractured in 2 places. I didn't find out until the school nurse saw me struggling to write 3 days later. I worked 3 jobs to pay for college. Scholarships covered tuition, but I still needed money for books, housing, food, morning shift at a coffee shop, afternoon classes, evenings at the campus library, weekends doing landscaping. I was exhausted every single day for 4 years. My parents never once told me they were proud. When I graduated with honors, they showed up 20 minutes late and left right after because my sister had a hair appointment. No celebration dinner, nothing. Meanwhile, my sister got married at 22. They paid for her $15,000 wedding. Then she got divorced 2 years later. They paid for her apartment. She remarried and had 2 kids. That marriage ended when her husband developed a gambling problem. They paid her rent again. By her 3rd marriage with 6 kids total, I'd stopped keeping track of how much they'd given her. Then 6 months ago, something changed. My parents started calling more, asking about my job, inviting me to dinners, congratulating me on my promotion. Part of me wanted to believe they'd finally come around, that maybe they'd realized I was worth their attention. I let myself hope. That was my mistake. Last month, they invited me over for dinner. It started normal. We talked about work, family gossip. For about an hour, I felt like I belonged. Then the conversation shifted. They started talking about my sister, how difficult things were. 6 kids, ages 12 down to 2. Her husband working part-time delivery, trying to start a business that wasn't making money. How they'd been helping but were running low on funds. They went on about how lucky I was. Good job, steady paycheck, no kids, no mortgage. How I had so much extra just sitting there. How family helps family. Then came the actual ask. They wanted me to buy my sister a 5-bedroom house, set up college funds for all 6 kids, provide a $5,000 monthly stipend, plus $20,000 in seed money for a mommy blog business. They had spreadsheets, actual printed spreadsheets with calculations. $2 million up front, followed by ongoing monthly payments indefinitely. They'd planned this whole thing out before talking to me. They sat there smiling like this was reasonable, like asking me to fund my sister's entire life was a normal family favor. I told them I'd help with small emergencies, but I couldn't take on that level of responsibility. The smiles disappeared instantly. Mom started crying, said I was abandoning the family. Dad called me selfish and ungrateful, said they were disappointed in who I'd become. They stormed out of their own house, leaving me alone at the table. I thought that was the end. I was wrong. Next day, my grandmother called. She'd heard the good news that I was taking care of everything for my sister. Apparently, my parents had been telling the entire extended family for weeks that I'd agreed. They'd been bragging about the house I was buying, the college funds, everything. They'd built this whole story before even asking me. When I said no, they didn't just lose my money. They lost face. When I explained what actually happened, there was long silence. Then she asked me to tell her everything from the beginning. 3 days later, my grandparents showed up at my parents' house with their lawyer. Turns out over the past 15 years, they'd been giving my parents money, over $200,000 total, specifically designated for both me and my sister's education and future needs. I'd worked 3 jobs through college and never saw a single penny of it. My grandparents revised their will that week, removing my parents entirely and setting up protected trusts for all the grandchildren that my parents